I have spent days with the artifact now. Or has it been weeks? Months? I can no longer be certain. The others come from time to time, offering food or distraction. They say I should separate myself from these studies. Malik has even suggested I abandon them entirely, but I am not yet ready to turn away. This Apple of Eden will be understood. It must be. Is it a weapon? Is it a catalog? Is it somehow both? He who increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. The philosophy of such a statement I can understand, but for it to be true, literally true, a society that waged wars with ideas and information in place of steel and swords. Its function is simple, elementary even, dominion, control. But the process, the methods and means it employs, these are fascinating. Those subjected to its glow are promised all that they desire. It asks only one thing in return: complete and total obedience. And who can truly refuse? It is temptation incarnate. I remember my own moment of weakness when confronted by Al-Mualim. My confidence shaken by his words. He, who had been like a father, was now revealed to be my greatest enemy. Just the briefest flicker of doubt was all he needed to creep into my mind. But I vanquished his phantoms, restored my self-confidence, and sent him from this world. I freed myself. But now I wonder, did I really? For here I sit, desperate to understand that which I swore to destroy. This is why the apple has a tale to tell. I sense the flickers of something great and dangerous. We are all at risk. It is my duty to do something about it. I must not, cannot, turn away until I found the truth. What follows are the three great ironies of the Assassin's Creed order. 1. Here we seek to promote peace, but murder is our means. 2. Here we seek to open the minds of men, but require obedience to a master and set of rules. 3. Here we seek to reveal the danger of blind faith, yet we are practitioners ourselves. I have no satisfactory answer to these charges, only possibilities. Do we bend the rules in the service to the greater good? And if we do, what does it say to us? That we are liars? That we are frauds? That we are weak? Every moment I spend wrestling with these contradictions, and in spite of all these years I've had to reflect. Still, I can find no suitable answer, and I fear that one may not exist. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Does our creed provide the answer then? That one may be two things, opposite in every way, simultaneously? And why not? Am I not proof? We, of noble intentions, possessed of barbaric means? We, who celebrate the sanctity of life, and then promptly take it from those we deem our enemies? Who were the ones that came before? What brought them here? How long ago? Centuries? Millennia? Longer still? So little remains of them. What drove them out? What of these artifacts? Messages in bottle? Tools left behind to aid and guide us? Or do we fight for control over their refuse, giving divine purpose and meaning to little more than discarded toys? Robert de Sable may be dead, but his brotherhood survives. Though less conspicuous in appearance, I fear they remain a threat. Where once they proudly walked the streets, making for easier targets, now they retreat into the shadows. It grows difficult to track them. What wicked things will they weave in the darkness? our work will be all the more complicated for it. Already there are rumors of a movement on Cyprus. I will have to investigate. It's made me realize that our tactics too must change. It means an end of our fortresses, to our penchant for spectacular displays of public assassinations. We must weave our webs quietly, and we must do so differently than we have in the past. Though I ask my brothers now to abandon their rituals, I do not ask them they abandon the creed. This is what makes us assassins. Not the removal of a finger, not the false promise of a paradise, not the prohibition of poison. Our duty is to the people, not to custom. If we must sneak, we shall sneak. If we must use poison, we shall use poison. If our blades can be used without removing fingers, we shall not demand they be taken. And we shall not manipulate our initiates with lies and parlor tricks. We shall speak plainly and honestly. We shall be made anew. I have thought Atha would be the one to lead me to rest, that I might lay down my blade and live as normal men. But now I know such dreams are best left to sleep. Her face, I try to banish it from my mind as I remember the days and nights during which I chased her Templar captors across the sea. I almost go to them in time. Almost. If I had only been faster. Instead, I held her lifeless body in my arms, saw the terror reflect in her fixed, unblinking eyes. I hunted each man, one by one, until all responsible were gone from the world. But there was no joy in this, no satisfaction or release. Their death did not bring her back, did not heal my wounds. After that, I was certain I would never again feel for a woman as I had for her. I am fortunate to have been wrong. Why do our instincts insist on violence? I have studied the interactions between different species. The innate desire to survive seems to demand the death of the other. Why can they not stand hand in hand? So many believe the world was created by the hand of a divine power, but I see only the design of a madman, bent on celebrating destruction and desperation. Our origin seems chaotic, unintended, purpose and being instilled solely by the passage of time, imposed first by nature, and later men. Over time, any sentence uttered long and loud enough becomes fixed, becomes a truth. Provided, of course, you can outlast the dissent and silence your opponents. But should you succeed and remove all challengers, then what remains is, by default, now true. Is it truth in some objective sense? No. But how does one ever achieve an objective point of view? The answer is, you don't. It is literally, physically impossible. There are too many variables, too many fields or formulae to consider. We can try, of course. We can inch closer and closer to a revelation, but we'll never reach it, not ever. And so, I have realized that so long as the Templars exist, they will attempt to bend reality to their will. They recognize there is no such thing as absolute truth. They seek to create their own explanation. It is guiding principle of their so-named the New World Order, to reshape existence to their own image. It is not about artifacts, not about men. These are merely tools. It's about concepts. Clever of them. For how does one wage war against concept? It is the perfect weapon. It lacks a physical form, yet can alter the world around us in numerous, often violent ways. You cannot kill a creed, even if you kill all of its adherents, destroy all of its writings. These are a reprieve at best. Someone, someday, will rediscover it, reinvent it. I believe that even we, the assassins, have simply rediscovered an order that predates the old man himself. Attis, Dionysus, Horus, Krishna, Mithra, Jesus. Similar stories color their lives. Too similar, I think. Divine birthright, persecution, disciples, miraculous act, resurrection. How is it possible? Perhaps it isn't. Merely a single story told over the ages? Borrowed they changed to fit the times? Evolving as our tools and language do? Is it the tale born of fact or fiction? A bit of both? Could these figures be the same person, their life extended and transformed by the peace of Eden? Al-Mualim spoke of Jesus as a real person, a mortal who had mastered the arts of manipulation. But what if he was wrong? If these men are real, and if they have walked amongst us many times, does it mean they'll come again? Perhaps they are here now? So many questions, and every day even more. The hidden blade has been constant companion of ours over the years. Some would even say it defines us, and they would not be entirely wrong. Many of our successes would not be even possible without it. Still, the device has begun to show its age, and so I have been researching improvements beyond ending the need to remove one's finger to wield it. The first is the addition of a metal plate that can be used to deflect incoming blows. The other assassins believe it is forged of a new metal and credit me with the discovery of the formula included on this page. It is better that they not know the truth. I have also worked with Malik to describe new method of assassinations, from on high, from ledges, and from hiding places. Basic movements, but critical nonetheless. The third and final improvement is the most simple, the provision of second blade, identical in every way to the first. Should an assassin ever find himself tasked with dispatching two targets, he need only time his strike in such a way that he might reach both at the same time. These blades will be limited in number, since the metal with which we forge them remain difficult to obtain. I will need to think carefully about who shall be allowed to carry two. Man seeks domination over all that he encounters. I suppose it is a natural tendency for us to aspire towards mastery of our surroundings. But this should not include other human beings. Every day, more and more are pressed into service, by deception or by force. Others, though not so firmly imprisoned, are made to feel as if their lives are worthless. I have seen the ways in which men persecute women, heard the cruel words hurled at those who come here from other lands, watched as those who believe or act differently are made to suffer. We discuss such things often, watching as we do from the spires of Masyaf. What can be done to stop this? To encourage tolerance and equality? Some days we speak of education, believing that knowledge will free us from the immorality. But as I walk the streets and see slaves sent off the auction, my heart grows cold. When I see the husband hurl abuses and stones at his wife, insisting she exists only to serve him, my fists clench. And when I see children thrown from their parents so that another man may profit, sent off to suffer beneath the desert sun and die. On these days, I do not think that dialogue will make a difference. On these days, I can only think on how the preparators need to die.